Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to welcome you to the Unlock Your Business Brilliance virtual summit. This is a prelude to Baltimore BizCon in partnership with the incredible Black Speakers Network. My name is Tiffany Bethia. I am the founder of Baltimore BizCon, and I'm so glad that you're here. What you're about to experience over the next few days are very powerfully curated conversations for women in business to grow in the areas of mindset, success habits, marketing, how to promote yourself, and money, how to attract it, how to steward it, how to get even more of it, right? These conversations are really just a prelude to the live experience that will take place here in Baltimore, January 26th and 27th. If you're anywhere in the Baltimore area, you can get here. I'm going to encourage you to get here because what you're going to get over the next few days is going to be just a sample of the powerful information, networking, and more that you'd experience at Baltimore BizCon. If you want to learn more about that, you can simply go to baltimorebizcon.com to learn more. Now, let's get back into the summit. Today, we are talking about mindset and marketing. First of all, when we're talking about mindset, I want you to understand that you are the soil that your business is planted in. And it's so important that that soil is healthy and fertile for whatever information gets planted there. We could talk to you about a million business strategies, but if your mindset is not fertile enough to grab that seed and really produce it into fruit, then you're not going to see the results that you want. And so these conversations are really going to help you examine what's going on in your mindset that really prepares you for the level of success that you're desiring. And then next, we're going to talk about marketing, because guess what? It doesn't matter how amazing you are if the right people don't know. So we're going to talk to you about how to position yourself in front of the people and the decision makers that can really cause you to see the business results you desire. It's going to be amazing. Don't forget that it's just a taste of what you'd experience in person. So go to baltimorebizcon.com to learn how you could join us in person for the rest. All right. Are you excited as I am? Because I'm excited. So let's dive into the first presentation.
Hello, my name is Christi Venable, and I am the CEO of Smile Therapy Services. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a corporate wellness expert. Today, I'm going to be discussing how to get to the next level of success. But before I talk about success, I want to talk about how it all started for me. As some of you may be able to relate, I had very humble beginnings. I am the oldest of 5 girls, and I come from a single parent household. There was a time when we were in the homeless shelter until my mother could secure an apartment. There was time when our water and electricity would get cut off, and so many other things that we had to endure. And that's how it started. But today, I stand before you as a founder of a multi-million-dollar mental health company. And I want you to journey with me to living with no ceiling and developing the 7-figure mindset for unimaginable success. And so I am going to lay out my 3 golden nuggets that will help you to that path to 7-figure success. And those are avoiding self-sabotage, not putting a cap on your success, and establishing a clear vision. So golden nugget one, avoiding self-sabotage. What is self-sabotage? So self-sabotage is described as thoughts or behaviors that keep you from doing the things that you want to accomplish. And so unfortunately, we've all have self-sabotaging behaviors or thoughts that kept us from pursuing something that we wanted to pursue. It's really just reality, right? We're all human and we all have negative thoughts at times. And so some self-sabotaging behaviors can be as extreme as self-medicating, but as subtle as procrastination. And so we must be able to identify these self-sabotaging behaviors if we are going to avoid them. And then we have to be able to identify what are our triggers? What are some things that happen that makes us have these self-sabotaging behaviors? And then let's actually make a plan of action so that we can respond positively to these self-sabotaging behaviors and not let them consume us and not let them keep us from getting to the success that we are trying to achieve. And so my second nugget, not putting a cap on your success. And so when you think about that, I think about not allowing fear to keep us from taking risk or allowing fear from making us think small. And so for me, one thing that sets successful entrepreneurs apart from the rest is our mindset. We must have a growth mindset and be able to know that we have the ability to get to the level of success that we want. So, what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is knowing and understanding that you have the ability to develop your skill set. You have the ability to learn strategies, to learn from others in order to continue to progress through life. Having a growth mindset also allows us to persevere during difficulties. And so it is going to be so important for us to have a mindset that will allow us to continue to take the risk that we have to take as an entrepreneur. Because the world of entrepreneurship is just one big risk. And if we do not have that growth mindset, then we will not take the risk that it takes to get us to that next level. And so don't allow fear to stop you from putting your dreams and your visions into action. Don't allow fear to stop you from going after that opportunity that could take you to the next level. And don't allow fear to stop you from thinking big. We must think big if we're going to go to that 7-figure level. So go after that contract. Start that new service offering and charge what you are worth. Let me say that again. Charge what you are worth, because that is what's going to get you to the path of 7 figures. And so not letting anything or anyone put a cap on our success. And so golden nugget number 3, Establish a clear vision. And so that means identify your lane and work that lane. Understand, who are my ideal clients? What is my service offering? And how does my service offering provide the solutions that my ideal clients need? That is going to be so imperative as you go on this path and this journey to seven figures. And so after you establish that, make sure that you are constantly revising the vision. Because as you grow, your vision should grow. As you evolve, your vision should evolve with you. And so understand that we may start off with one vision when we get started as an entrepreneur, but as we grow, we should see some changes in our vision because our vision should grow, as big as we are growing. And so make sure that you are constantly maturing, not just in your business, but also with your vision. And so if you want to ensure that you are going to be on this illuminous path to seven figures and living with no ceiling, then you have to do, number one, avoid self-sabotage. Number two, not put a cap on your success. And number three, establish a clear vision. And so seven-figure CEOs, they have big vision. And it's time to tap into yours. I hope what I have shared with you today has been valuable and you will be able to utilize it as you are on your pathway to that seven-figure mindset. Please connect with me on LinkedIn under my name, Christi Venable. And I cannot wait to see you all at the top. So let's go and get these seven figures. Thank you.
Have you ever found yourself on the brink of a breakthrough, only to be interrupted by nagging thoughts that say it's too good to be true or you're not good enough? I've been there. I think we've all been there. Well, hi. My name is Dr. Janet Little. I'm a physician, trauma-informed resilience coach, and international speaker, and CEO of Optimal Vitality MD, helping professionals like yourself dealing with stress, overwhelm, and burnout heal from the inside out to live a life of peace and prosperity without sacrificing your health and well-being. But my life wasn't always that way. There was a time when I dimmed my light in becoming a doctor and an entrepreneur. It wasn't what others were saying about me or to me or my abilities, but it was what I was saying to myself. You're not good enough. Who are you to think that you can do this? Or if only I had what she had. You see, we have a tendency to shrink back from our greatness and sabotage opportunities simply by the negative thoughts in our heads. Has there ever been a time in your life when your subconscious thoughts stopped you in your tracks from taking action, eroded your confidence, reduced your motivation, and created this cascade of negative effects that hindered you from reaching your full potential? Well, it's time to shine a light on those insidious creatures. So, in this short time that I have with you today, I just want to speak with you heart to heart and share with you how to be positioned for your best year yet in business and in life by talking about something that too often gets overlooked. So I hope you have pen and paper ready to take some notes because we're about to talk about automatic negative thoughts or ants and how to stomp them for good. Now, this term was first coined in the 1990s by Dr. Daniel Amen, and he described the long-term effects that negative thoughts cause to the brain and affect every cell in the body, making you feel bad, not just mentally, but emotionally and physically as well. Now, these ants, they're these little silent saboteurs sitting just below the surface of our subconscious thoughts that hinders our success. It's the I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or what if I fail? Those type thoughts that tend to spiral out of control that then steal our joy and our momentum, which show up as, take note, procrastination, indecision, perfectionism, or plain out inaction, just to name a few. But there are several species of ants that we're going to talk about today. And here are just a few of the common ones. See if you can identify with one or more of these. The comparison or less than ant, where you're constantly comparing your business growth to your competitor's rapid success, leaving you feeling inadequate and demotivated. Now, these next three ants, they tend to go hand in hand. The just bad ants, where you're assuming that one setback means ultimate failure, which then leads to the overgeneralization ant, where you're assuming that a negative experience will repeat indefinitely based on a single incident, which then leads to the labeling ant, where you're assigning negative labels to yourself based on isolated experiences, such as calling yourself a failure after a setback. So you see how once one negative thought begins to snowball out of control, it goes into more and more negative thoughts. The next one, if only and I'll be happy when and, where you're dwelling on the past or constantly longing for a future scenario, believing your happiness is contingent upon a specific event or achievement, such as, I'll be happy when I get this position. And lastly is the guilt beating ant. That's a big one, where you use words like I should, I must, I ought, or I have to, which then leads to feelings of guilt and shame for not meeting some perceived expectation. So then what tends to happen is that we try to bypass those negative thoughts with the positivity mask by using affirmations. And I'm a fan of affirmations, but affirmations alone fail to have lasting impact without actually challenging the thoughts. And when you suppress negative thoughts without understanding their roots, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a wound that needs stitches. It might hold for a while, but it won't heal it and it won't stop the bleeding. So, in order to stomp the ants for good, recognizing these thought patterns is the first step towards addressing and challenging them to cultivate a healthier mindset. So, here's my call to action to you the next time you feel like ants are invading your headspace and stealing your joy and your peace. Write this down. Number one, write down your ant. The mere act of writing it down gets it out of your head and into the light. Number two, identify the ant species. Is it a guilt-beating ant? Is it a comparison ant? Is it a labeling ant? Number three, ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? And then number four, ask yourself, how does this thought make me feel? And more importantly, ask yourself, what is it costing me by holding on to these negative thoughts? And the last step is turn that thought around to its exact opposite and then add the affirmation. So, what are you willing to do inside this new reality? By bringing your fears and doubts into the light, they lose their power. It's like turning on the lights in the dark room and ants scatter. I don't know about you, but I grew up in a generation where I was to be seen and not heard. So when it came to visibility in my own business, my aunts kept telling me that no one wants to hear what you have to say, Janet. And it held me back for years. And I sabotaged opportunity after opportunity until I grasped this concept of challenging my aunts. And I want that for you as well. And if done so diligently and with intention, you'll stop feeding the inner me, that enemy within, that inner voice that tells you that you are not enough. When you stomp out these automatic negative thoughts, these ants, it's crucial for mastering the business mindset because these sneaky mental critters can act as significant roadblocks in the pathway to success. And when left unchecked, ants will erode your confidence, reduce your motivation, and distort your perceptions, hindering your ability to make informed decisions and seize opportunities. But by conquering these negative thoughts, you'll maintain clarity, boost your resilience, and foster a positive mindset that's essential for navigating the challenges of the business world. Stomping out ants is not just about positivity. It's a strategic move to enhance focus, creativity, and overall well-being, which lays the foundation for a successful entrepreneurial journey. So I hope this short video was helpful to you because I want you to win in business and in life. Again, I am Dr. Janet Little, physician, trauma-informed resilience coach, and international speaker. And if you want to learn more about how to transform your life by renewing your mind, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook at the handle at I am Dr. Jan, or visit my website for some free content at coach.drjanetlittle.com. And here is to stomping your ants and creating the mindset for success in life and in your business. Love you guys.
Okay, maybe you haven't put it in the comment section yet, but something in you is really wondering, what is Baltimore BizCon? And why? Like, why should I consider, virtual, I can just pull up on my computer, but why should I even consider coming and being in the room? Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. I'm going to answer this question in the form of a story. And this actually happened not that long ago. And I thought, as it was happening, it was such a reminder of why I created this event. I had the opportunity recently to coach for a national organization with women in business, and it was in person. And at the end of me facilitating my sessions, I did a Q&A. So there was a woman that was sitting on my right, and it was very clear throughout the dialogue that her business was a bit in emergency mode. And so we get to the Q&A and she raises her hand first and she asks a question. And I tell her, listen, this area right here is emergent. Like, this is an emergency. And I really, really think that you need to address this. So I gave her a resource to get started. Well, one of the women across the table, who was being very well-intentioned, said, oh, also go to YouTube and you can check out this. And I said to her, well, that's a great resource, but can I tell you something? At the level of emergency she's in, she actually just needs to go to see a professional. I said, if your roof was leaking everywhere, would you go on YouTube and Google how to stop the leak, or would you call in a professional? And she went, oh yeah, I'd call in a professional. I said, exactly. I said, based on what she has shared today, her business is at that place of emergency. And this is not a DIY, Google, YouTube it. She needs to call in a professional. So the woman over here asked a question, and it was the question. She said, well, how would she know that it was that bad? And you want to know what I told her? You're not going to know on your own. So you don't want me to say that, but that's the truth. You're not going to know on your own. It's like that little nagging pain that you feel, but when you go to the doctor, an expert is able to speak into you and go, oh, here's what's going on. I'm going to give you another perspective on that. Not only someone who's an expert, but also in community, the areas that you cannot see, we call them blind spots, we are able to see. There's something on the middle of my back right now and I can't see it. But if I'm in a circle and I'm surrounded by my sisters, they can tell me what they see. Well, you have blind spots in your business right now. You cannot see them. It doesn't matter what angle and how you turn, you cannot see them, but we can. And so when you situate yourself in community, something that might not seem like a big deal, whether to the positive or to the negative, we can look at it and go, oh, did you know this is amazing. Do more of this. Or hey, if you don't fix that, that's going to be a big issue. And that is the reason that I created this event, because I knew that Baltimore women in business needed a space, a safe place to come together, to be nurtured, to be educated, to get resources, to be poured into, and really build the healthy, thriving businesses that we desire and deserve. And there are just some things we're not going to get on alone. And guess what? There are some things we're not going to get virtually. We have to come together in a room and create beautiful, powerful synergy. And that's what this room is. It's created and specifically hosted in January because I want you to get the resources, the education, the relationships, and everything you need to have the very best year in business ever. So if you're anywhere near the Baltimore area, I want to implore you to get in this room, because I know that something that's going to be said on the stage, somebody in the vendor expo hall, something that's going to be said during the pitch competition you get to watch, something that happens that moment, or even someone you meet just in the hallway is going to change the trajectory of your year in business. So go ahead to BaltimoreBusinessCon.com and grab your tickets. And I can't wait to see you in the room.
My name is Dr. Kimberly Walker. I am a psychiatrist and a coach, and I am pleased to be able to speak with you today. I'm going to talk about feeling stuck and ways to kind of deal with that. First, I would like to tell you a little story. I graduated from medical school and embarked on a career in adult, child, and adolescent psychiatry. I thought, relieving human suffering was a noble thing to do, and it seemed like it held a lot of promise. Fast forward to 2020, in the throes of COVID, misery everywhere. By 2021, I could no longer deal with all the suffering that I was encountering vicariously every day through my patients, with all the anxiety and depression and suicidal feelings. It really became too much for me. I found that I hit a wall. I had compassion fatigue, and I was burned out. I felt stuck. I knew I needed to make a change, but I really didn't know how. All my training and board certifications did not prepare me for what I had come up against. I work with many high achieving women who also find themselves stuck. They may have lots of education, certifications, may be very accomplished, but many of us women of color are struggling. We are not thriving. And many of us do feel stuck. And the emotions that come along with that are mixed. It can be baffling. It can be embarrassing. You know, you've accomplished so much, yet you can't move forward and you can't figure out why. And for women of color in particular, there are often barriers that we have come up against. Some of them are subtle, and some of them are more overt. Microaggressions, slights, systemic oppression. The experiences that occur in these institutions, in these elements, can deposit unconscious limiting beliefs that can affect us and can lead to us having difficulty moving forward. And they can affect the way we relate to others, the way we carry out our jobs. When I found myself feeling stuck, I looked at a number of ways to try to deal with it, and I'm going to share these with you. So first of all, we have to look at our mindset. And mindset gets thrown around, but what we think, how we think, it affects how we act. And so it's important to look at that. It's important to look at what we are believing. So first of all, we have to slow down. And that might seem pretty obvious, but many of us are on the go all the time, looking at screens, consuming information. So we really need to sit and think. I definitely recommend a morning routine and cultivating a practice of gratitude is helpful. Writing down what you're grateful for and saying it aloud has been shown by research to help to shift the mood, help to activate the moods, and overcome that inertia that can occur with feeling stuck and can help set the tone for the day. So, you know, anything like I am grateful for heat. I am grateful that I woke up this morning. I am grateful for loved ones. Saying and writing 3 to 5 every day can be helpful, and it doesn't take a long time. Secondly, I recommend self-praise. And this may be difficult for us to do, at least at first, but it's important to remind yourself of your value, especially if you didn't hear positives coming up, or if you're in an environment where you are catching a lot of negativity. Countering that with self-praise is important. So again, writing it down and reciting it in a mirror, if possible. If you don't know what to say about yourself, ask someone who cares about you, and they'll give you some suggestions. So phrases like, I am valuable, I am creative, I am brave, I am resilient. These statements actually can cause you to kind of sit up straighter, stand more erect, and it shifts your body language into a more positive state. Thirdly, I'd like to recommend that you consider your purpose. Think about what it is that you feel called to do. And maybe that's not obvious to you. Maybe it is more so, what are you doing that doesn't feel right? Is it not aligned with your values? Maybe it doesn't serve you anymore. And purpose is not really just about doing. Purpose is about being. Who are you? What are you supposed to be? So writing down these statements, what seems to be natural, what seems to be easy for me to do, that may be a clue to your purpose. So I have talked briefly about feeling stuck, how that may feel. I've talked briefly about using gratitudes, self-praise, and purpose in order to look at your mindset and help shift you in a direction, to help you find some movement. However, if those are not helpful, or if you've been engaging in them and you aren't finding that you're moving, it may be those unconscious beliefs that I talked about earlier. Those limiting beliefs may be blocking you, and that takes deep work to deal with. Rapid transformational therapy is a modality, or RTT, that uses targeted hypnotherapy, and it looks at the unconscious limiting beliefs that we've taken in. And we're able to refute those beliefs and replace them with positive ones. And the process really is life-changing. You are able to be freed up and move forward and really accomplish your potential. When I was stuck and looking for what else to do, I came across RTT, which was developed by Marissa Peer, and I decided to be certified in it. And in the process, I really felt freed up. I became aware of beliefs that I wasn't aware had been deposited. For example, I was raised in a predominantly white neighborhood. And although I did not get blatant racial discrimination, my beauty also wasn't celebrated. And I did not realize the toll that it had taken. And I had taken in a belief of not being enough. But that belief was refuted, and I'm able to move forward. And I want to share this modality. I want to share this way of working with other women so that they can be freed up in the very same way. So if you're interested, I encourage you to contact me. I'm on Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn, Dr. Kimberly Walker. Thank you for your attention.
Plans, plans, plans. A recipe for prosperity. Hi, everyone. I am Michelle Harmon-Malone. I am a coach, an author, and a speaker. I am the owner and operator of Better Together, LLC. It is a Christian coaching and consulting business. I'm also the Amazon bestselling author of The Parenting Playbook, Beginning with the End in Mind. What have you planned lately? At any given time, you and I are planning something. Perhaps it was the outfits that you would wear for the week. Maybe it's even a meal plan. Maybe you're meal prepping for your family, possibly a wedding, or maybe even a vacation. Personally, I've planned my outfit for Friday evening. A dear friend of mine and her longtime boyfriend are sealing the deal. They're getting married Friday, and there will be a wonderful celebration for them Friday evening. And so everyone has been asked to wear some shade of green. Green is my favorite color. It is a color of prosperity. And so I already have that picked out, my outfit, the jewelry that I'm going to wear to complement that and just kind of seal the deal and celebrate my dear friend. But you and I have a plan, but there's also a much, much bigger plan in store for you. Plans, plans, plans. Jeremiah 29:11 is a scripture that's often quoted just as reassurance that the divine, the sovereign Lord has a plan for each one of his children. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. You might be wondering, why did he use the word plans 3 times? Perhaps as human beings, we don't always listen the first time. Perhaps as human beings, we may ignore it as happenstance or coincidence, or he's not talking to me. But that 3rd time, that usually gets your attention, right? So let's unpack this just a little bit. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. So in other words, before you were even knitted together in your mother's womb, he had a plan for each one of us. Every minute detail has been taken care of. All your celebrations, your highs, your lows, your valley moments, your successes, your peak moments, all those things and everything in between, already made out, planned for you to the letter. Be more specific, Lord. Plans to prosper you. The Lord has a plan for each one of us that incorporates prosperity. Everything that we do will lead to prosperity, but we have to be a part of the plan that he has for us, right? Now, it doesn't mean that we are exempt from doing any planning, because we must do some planning and we have to take some action steps too. But he has a plan for us. The plan leads to prosperity, and it's a plan to give you hope and a future. Well, why on earth would you need hope if God has the plan in his hands, right? Because sometimes we fail as humans. We are fallible individuals. And so he knows us well enough to know that sometimes when we fail, we just stay there for a while. We just linger in our own stench and just, I don't know, just complain and wallow in self-pity. But he assures us that the plan that he has for us is not intended to hurt us. In fact, it's intended to give us hope and a future. So here's some steps to activate that plan. First and foremost, I like the plan that God has for me. I like my plans, but I really love his plans. But in order to activate his plan, I have to stand in agreement with it. Say, hey, Lord, I like what you got a little better than what I got. I want to activate that plan. Let's agree to go into partnership, to collaborate, to co-labor. And so think about activating. I remember a little ditty from when I was a little kid. We used to sing it as girls in the neighborhood. Activate your mind, get yourself together. Activate your mind, get yourself together. There was some clapping and some dancing and some head bobbing and stuff that went along with it. But even as little kids, when we sang that song, we didn't necessarily realize that we were getting our minds set together. And so that's what we're doing when we activate something. Think about another example. You get a credit card in the mail. You can't use that credit card until you activate it. There's a certain PIN, you got to call a number or go online to the activating section and you say, I agree to the rules that you have set out for me to use this in a responsible way. You activate it and you can use it. So it's an agreement there too. Same thing with God's plan. Let's look at number 2, a step toward prosperity. Embrace the gifts that you have. Each one of us has particular talents, abilities, and gifts already wired into our DNA. I come from a family of basketball playing people. Everybody in my family played basketball, old and young. They all played, women and men. They all played, and they were good. The Harmon family, that's my maiden name, they were known as ballers in our small town. What did I play? The piccolo. I had to accept that I just was not athletically inclined at the time. I could learn to play the game, but I would never be as talented as my cousins were in a pickup game or in a national championship. Just wasn't my gift. But I've learned to embrace the gifts that I do have. I am amazing at writing. You know, the Parenting Playbook was my first book, but it won't be my last. I enjoy writing. I enjoy storytelling, and I've embraced the gifts that the good Lord has given me. Another step toward prosperity: keep the faith and keep the pace. You are going to fall. You are going to fail, sometimes miserably, but don't stay there. Pick yourself back up. Use that failure as an opportunity to learn, reflect on what went wrong, what went well, and then revisit that. Reimagine that process, or whatever it is that didn't go well, didn't land you in the area of prosperity. Reimagine what you did. Reimagine what you did, and then keep the pace. I think about the pace in terms of a race. You're in your own particular lane. And as long as you have your eyes on the prize and you're moving and you're breathing properly, you are good. You could actually win that race. But when you start to look to the left or to the right, or even behind you, God forbid, to see who's coming up in the rear, you lose your focus, and you might actually lose the race. So I encourage you to go with the ebb and flow of the Lord's pace. Sometimes he just accelerates things for you. Sometimes he slows things down because you might just need to rest. That's the right mindset, knowing when you need to like really, really pump your arms, and then when you need to just take a nap and rest and turn off social, etc. This will lead to prosperity eventually. And then what's step 4? Renew your mind often. Renew your mind is sometimes misunderstood. Renewing your mind doesn't mean I'm changing my mind every day. What it really means is I'm pivoting quickly. It's like a jolt. Like when you wake up from a dream and you're like, oh, where am I? It's sort of like that. It's a jolt. Whenever you hear negative thoughts, errant thoughts about you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you're whatever, those are lies of the enemy. And they don't align with the plan or the agreement that you made with the Lord for his plan. So renewing your mind is just a quick pivot. Like, I'm not listening to that. I'm getting my mind together. I'm activating my mind. I'm activating that big old plan that the Lord has for me. And then finally, another step to prosperity is open your mouth and speak life. The power of life and death are in the tongue. And scripture also says that within your heart, that storehouse, it's a storehouse for your thoughts, your beliefs. It's fertile ground. And out of the abundance of what's planted there is what's going to come out of your mouth. So if you don't have really good and enriching, nourishing, loving thoughts in your heart, those other things are going to come out of your mouth. So here's a quick example of what I'm talking about. These are some things that I speak to myself on a daily basis. Go ahead and take a snapshot of this. I call it Coach M's Prosperity Secret Ingredients. There are so many ingredients that leads to success, but man, if you want prosperity, these are the things that you speak over yourself. God's abundance is manifesting in my life, and I am grateful for all that I have. Here's another one that I like. Every day, I'm moving closer and closer to my goals, supported by the divine energy within me. That's God's energy. I am a magnet for prosperity, and I attract success with every breath I take. Wow. That's success. I want you to be prosperous. I want everyone to be prosperous. I want you to stretch, and I want you to grow and use these secret ingredients to help you. If you want to stay connected with me, here's how you can do that. Follow me on social media at Principal Michelle on Instagram. Facebook.com, Better Together LLC. Look at how together spelled TWO, because two are better than one, because we have a better return for our labor. And then finally on LinkedIn, there's the banner that you'll see when you connect with Michelle Harmon-Malone. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, maybe you haven't put it in the comment section yet, but something in you is really wondering, what is Baltimore BizCon? And why? Like, why should I consider, virtual, I can just pull up on my computer, but why should I even consider coming and being in the room? Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. I'm going to answer this question in the form of a story. And this actually happened not that long ago. And I thought, as it was happening, it was such a reminder of why I created this event. I had the opportunity recently to coach for a national organization with women in business, and it was in person. And at the end of me facilitating my sessions, I did a Q&A. So there was a woman that was sitting on my right, and it was very clear throughout the dialogue that her business was a bit in emergency mode. And so we get to the Q&A, and she raises her hand first and she asks a question. And I tell her, listen, this area right here is emergent. Like, this is an emergency. And I really, really think that you need to address this. So I gave her a resource to get started. Well, one of the women across the table, who was being very well intentioned, said, oh, also go to YouTube and you can check out this. And I said to her, well, that's a great resource, but can I tell you something? At the level of emergency she's in, she actually just needs to go to see a professional. I said, if your roof was leaking everywhere, would you go on YouTube and Google how to stop the leak, or would you call in a professional? And she went, oh yeah, I'd call in a professional. I said, exactly. I said, based on what she has shared today, her business is at that place of emergency. And this is not a DIY, Google, YouTube it. She needs to call in a professional. So the woman over here asked a question, and it was the question. She said, well, how would she know that it was that bad? And you want to know what I told her? You're not going to know on your own. So you don't want me to say that, but that's the truth. You're not going to know on your own. It's like that little nagging pain that you feel, but when you go to the doctor, an expert is able to speak into you and go, oh, here's what's going on. I'm going to give you another perspective on that. Not only someone who's an expert, but also in community, the areas that you cannot see, we call them blind spots, we are able to see. There's something on the middle of my back right now, and I can't see it. But if I'm in a circle and I'm surrounded by my sisters, they can tell me what they see. Well, you have blind spots in your business right now. You cannot see them. It doesn't matter what angle and how you turn, you cannot see them, but we can. And so when you situate yourself in community, something that might not seem like a big deal, whether to the positive or to the negative, we can look at it and go, oh, did you know this is amazing. Do more of this. Or, hey, if you don't fix that, that's going to be a big, big issue. And that is the reason that I created this event, because I knew that Baltimore women in business needed a space, a safe place to come together, to be nurtured, to be educated, to get resources, to be poured into, and really build the healthy, thriving businesses that we desire and deserve. And there are just some things we're not going to get on alone. And guess what? There are some things we're not going to get virtually. We have to come together in a room and create beautiful, powerful synergy. And that's what this room is. It's created and specifically hosted in January because I want you to get the resources, the education, the relationships, and everything you need to have the very best year in business ever. So if you're anywhere near the Baltimore area, I want to implore you to get in this room, because I know that something that's going to be said on the stage, somebody in the vendor expo hall, something that's going to be said during the pitch competition you get to watch, something that happens that moment, or even someone you meet just in the hallway is going to change the trajectory of your year in business. So go ahead to BaltimoreBusinessCon.com and grab your tickets. And I can't wait to see you in the room.
Well, hello, my name is Monique Pearson, and I am the founder and CEO of Soaring Without Limits Enterprises, also affectionately known as SWOL. I assist women in helping to overcome those mental mind blocks that stop them from being their highest self, and we use travel as that vehicle in order to do this. First off, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Brian O's and the BSN team for this opportunity to come before you today and to speak. I'm truly grateful and excited to be with you to share this afternoon. So we're going to talk about brain food, the mindset of a winner. But before I start on that, I would love to share with you a quick story. So if anyone were to tell me 10 years ago that I would be an entrepreneur and taking joy in having my own business, I would have laughed you out the door, because at that time, my mindset was on stability, and that encompassed what I was always taught and brought up, that encompassed a job in a stable paycheck. But did you know that it took all the way until the pandemic, when I had the time to just sit back, think, and assess my life, and then it came to me that I was not fulfilled with what I was presently living to up at that point in time, that I was not operating in my passion nor my gifts. And I decided then and there that that was no longer acceptable. So I'm going to pause right there, because that is a message that anytime we want to start on a new journey, a new path, or anything, take a shift or a change in our life, it all starts with a decision. Once we decide that we want to see something else, we want to pursue something else, we want to go forward in something else, we have to make that decision that that is something that we want to do. And that gives ourselves the permission and the authority to go forward and do that. So I would like to share with you the 3 tenets of mental resiliency, which you will need to definitely have as you embark upon this new journey of entrepreneurship. 1, you want to be mindful of the self-talk. Are you advocating for yourself? Are you your biggest cheerleader? Because if you aren't, how are you going to expect someone else to support you, to cheer you on, if you are not doing it for yourself? Everything starts first at home. What are you doing here in your thought processes? What seeds are you planting? Are they seeds of doubt? Are they seeds of restriction? Are they seeds of cannot? Versus I am powerful, I am strong, I am resilient, I am capable, and you are everything that you say that you are, because the subconscious cannot tell the difference between whether or not you are playing or you are serious. So make sure that those seeds that you are planting are one of positivities and what you can do and what you will be and what you will become, because that is exactly what it's going to be. What you can say, what you see that is possible for you, and it will be what you say that you can, if that is what those seeds are that you are planting in your self-conscious. Next, you want to write the vision. Habakkuk 2 verses 3 says, write the vision and make it plain. You are the captain of this ship. In this case, your business, your new entity. You are the one that is going to be steering the course that is going to be serving your customers. So it is often said that a confused mind does not buy. So if you are unsure as to what product, what services you're offering, where you can best serve your avatar or the customer that you're looking to appeal to as far as your market, if there is no clarity on that, I very highly doubt that there will be success in your venture. So first, you need to make sure that you are clear on the vision and clear in the direction that you would want your business to go. And there is power I want to share with you, and be authentically you. The people are not coming to buy the products or the services. They are drawn to you. You are your brand. You are your product. You are your service, and you are just the person who's bringing it to the market. So make sure that you are being you and not trying to compare yourself or be as if someone who is in a similar field, because we feel that this market is already overfiltrated and there's no room for you. There is always room for you, because someone is looking for what you have to offer, regardless if there's those other services as well that offer what you offer, because there is no one who has your DNA and can bring it like you bring it. So make sure that you are staying true to yourself and being you when you are bringing forth that product to the market. And I also want to share, you need to be mindful of who has your ear. It is so crucial, the same way that you're planting those seeds of positivity and not of doubt, that you are surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, fellow entrepreneurs who can understand this journey that you're going on, that they can walk with you when you're walking through the valleys, that they can celebrate with you when you are hitting the mountaintops and celebrating those victories that you hit milestone after milestone, that you are locked in so that both of you could be able to pour into one another as you're strategizing, as you're doing those brainstorming sessions as to the next offering or the next service that you're going to be bringing to the marketplace, that you have someone who can join you as you walk this walk of entrepreneurship. Someone who is not walking this and who is walking a day job are not going to understand the trials, the tribulations, as well as the victories that you encounter when you are an entrepreneur. That is so important, that you find a business bestie, as I would like to say, or even a group of fellow entrepreneurs that you guys can go ahead and feed off of one another. And also, I like to share to seek wise counsel. And in this case, a mentor, someone who can also share with you and help you to avoid those pitfalls that they have caused when they started their new beginning journey of entrepreneurship, so that you do not have to fall down that same path. It is often said that eagles fly with eagles and have no business with pigeons. So I will also say the same thing. Make sure that you are linking up with someone who is also a visionary, someone who is a dreamer, not a dream killer. Because when God planted this seed and gave you the vision for this business, it was not a conference call. So you do not need everyone else's concession. All you need is his, and to know that you have everything that you need inside of you to go forth and win. So you have everything that you need. Now all you need to do is go forth and win and do it. So I definitely invite you to connect with me on all my social media platforms, which will be following my presentation. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me at Monique Pearson, and under my business pages as Swole Enterprises. And definitely feel free to reach out with me so we can have a further connection on my website at www.soaringwolimits.com. And just for joining us today and being a part of this platform, I would love to share with you a free gift, the top 5 travel tips of a Travelista. So I look forward to seeing you, connecting with you as you continue to win out here in these entrepreneurial streets. Be blessed.
Hello and welcome, esteemed women entrepreneurs and leaders. I am Dr. Stephanie Wall, and it's my honor and privilege to lead you through an enlightening exploration to develop your speaker brain, to empower your voice through science and strategy. In this session, we're not just talking about communication. We're delving into how the intricate science of your brain can empower your voice, transforming your messaging, and revolutionizing your approach to business and leadership. My life's work is devoted to guiding individuals just like you to uncover the power of their own stories and voices, whether it's climbing the career ladder, launching innovative ventures, or asserting your presence in any room. I'm here to illuminate the path. If you are ready to transcend barriers of insecurity and frustration, if you're eager to embrace the career you've always envisioned or the journey that you've always wanted, prepare to engage with insightful strategies that will not only pique your curiosity, but also equip you to step into a world of newfound confidence and success. Let's embark on this transformative adventure together. Welcome to Developing Your Speaker Brain. Let's go. Did you know that every time you speak, you're engaging a symphony of neural pathways in your brain, each playing a vital role in shaping your message and impact? Warm greetings, dynamic women entrepreneurs. In today's enlightening session, we're diving into empowering our voice through wonders of our brain's capabilities. This journey is more than enhancing communication. It's about nurturing your inner strength, embracing your unique story, and stepping into your power with confidence and grace. You see, life often brings defining moments that shape our destiny. One such moment for me was on January 24th, 23, a day that taught me the undeniable power of voice in the face of adversity. Witnessing my sister's journey in finding her voice after a heart-wrenching loss, I learned about resilience, the strength in vulnerability, and the transformative power of self-expression. This experience is a profound reminder of why nurturing our speaker brain is essential, not only for personal growth, but for professional excellence. I'm going to give you 3 steps. Step number 1, master effective business communication. I invite you to start a business voice journal because neuroscience tells us that engaging in self-reflection and articulation exercises activates key areas of the brain involved in decision making and emotional processing. By recording your daily business reflections, you're not only honing your communication skills, but also strengthening your cognitive abilities. This practice is a pathway to not just clearer expression, but also to a deeper understanding of your authentic voice and its power in your entrepreneur journey. Step 2, structure your business messages. Craft the business narrative, the framework. This practice stimulates your brain's language processing centers. It enhances your ability to convey your ideas with clarity and conviction. By methodically mapping out your business narratives, you're teaching your brain to communicate your vision more effectively, ensuring that your message resonates deeply and authentically with your audience. This is heavy. I hope y'all taking pictures, taking notes. Come on, stay with it. Number 3, the final point, establishing a strong business persona. Engage in daily executive presence exercises. Research shows that adopting a powerful posture can shift your hormone levels, boosting confidence and reducing stress. This physical practice not only transforms your external presentation, but also reinforces your inner belief in your capabilities. It empowers you to lead with authority and grace in any business setting and in your personal life. Day 3, fire! This is Dr. Stephanie Wall, your tower of power, your transformation architect, your founder of 1 Million Lives Transformed, and your host. This is going to be fabulous. 1, 2, 3. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. All right, day 3. So this is what you can expect. You've already have been learning about how to transform not only yourself, but other people. We learned about courage. We learned about vulnerability. We learned about finding our true selves. We learned about purpose and passion. And now we're going to put all of that together and we're going to learn how to transform ourselves so that we can help others to transform themselves, to stop hiding behind the old them and walk boldly in their new. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know that song? Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, I ain't going to take y'all back there, but let's go because I'm looking forward to these amazing speakers. Haven't these speakers been amazing? Well, we ain't done yet. Dial in, stay tuned, get your camera ready, get your water, go take a pee break. Do what you need to do, but come on back and be right here. Let's go. It starts now. Fire! Urge you to embrace these transformative steps. Maintain a business voice journal. Develop your narrative framework and practice executive presence exercises. These are not just actions. They are affirmations of your potential power. Let's utilize the science of our incredible brains to elevate our voices and carve paths of success and impact in the business world. You can connect with me on social media to continue our journey of empowerment and transformation. Together, let's speak our truths, own our stories, and change the world with our voices. Thank you for stepping into your power today and every day. Remember to say it, believe it, and do it. I began my story by telling you about my sister. I will tell you that she was an introvert and she still is one, but she uses her story to transform the lives of other women who've experienced similar tragedies in their lives so that they know they're not alone and that if she can find her way on the other side of her pain, they can too by sharing and serving, first adding value and then providing an offer afterwards. Have an amazing day. Bless you. See you in the social media streets.
So you've been seeing and hearing so much about Baltimore BizCon, and you might be thinking, I don't want to just attend. I'm actually interested in partnering and being connected. Well, there are still two ways that you can do so. We do still have some limited sponsor spaces available. And so if you'd like to really benefit from all of the exposure in the room and the media and all of the buzz that we're creating with Baltimore BizCon, you can go to the website and fill in the opt-in form for sponsorship, and someone from our team will respond back to you within 24 hours. You may also be interested in a table at the Vendor Expo. And there are a few tables available, right? So you can go to our website and fill in the form to apply. We are reviewing just to make sure that we don't have too many in one category and that we have the right types of companies that we know will truly benefit from being in the room. Once you fill out the form, you will receive information back and be given the opportunity to secure your vendor space. If you have any questions at all, you can simply fill out the form and one person from our team will get back to you. And we're excited and want to thank you in advance for wanting to partner and connect with Baltimore BizCon.